My name is Mr. Ernest Crim III. I am a public teacher, is what I like to call myself, and I focus on teaching our kids around the country and world Black history, as well as giving lectures and workshops on anti-racism. I love it. I taught in the classroom for 12 years, so to me, it's just like teaching to a bigger class. I like to just, as Tupac said, like spark the brain. You know, I get a short amount of time, I might not see these kids again. So I want to give them at least one thing that makes them say, I need to study my history more because it's going to help build me up. So I have 5 principles, but I hope they just took at least one that stood out the most to them. I say the first principle is to understand that the most racist things we deal with are embedded in the system, not just words. It's how what we're born into, where we live, and everything beyond that. I also talked about how music was used for revolution in our community and how I believe because of that, it's purposely being used for commercial purposes only. Whereas we used it to fight back then, now it's being censored if people are speaking up about certain things now. I talked about the importance of looking to the past and realizing that we're more expansive than what the history books will show. Like our history does not just begin in slavery, and even with that, through that, we created amazing things during and before and now. One of my other principles was the importance of having a strong community and just realizing that we can never do this by ourselves. It's about being surrounded by people like I Know Your Rights Camp, right? And the last principle was understanding that they are the somebody that they look for when they want something to be done. I got in the classroom not because I wanted to teach about the glory of America. I got in the class, I wanted our kids to understand that we need to create something different. And that's what's viewed as problematic. So I know that our education must take firstly outside of the class, whether it be at home, whether it be in the church, whether it be community centers, whether through organizations. They're gonna learn more here from 9 to 4 than they'll probably learn in their history classes for the entire year, unless they are at a school that specializes in that. And that's probably a charter school that only takes a few people. I have the right to be free. And I'm sure that was intentionally created to be the first one because I think that is the foundation from which everything else comes. So if you understand that you have the right to be free and you are free, even though you live in a system that tries to confine you, then you realize that you have the potential to change and create anything you want. I think it's so important for our kids to be able to imagine outside of the constraints of because we, you know, and I say for myself too, we think that this is all there is and has ever been or could be until we open up our minds, study history, and say, you know what, we can do something better. My name is Mr. Ernest Crim III, and I know my rights.